Howdy, folks. It's the Creepy Kentuckian here. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. What is going on, everybody?
Not too much, man. What's going on with you? We had Uncle Bill, and then he left. He was here, and then he
came in and went.
Yeah, he must have had to go take a dump or something. He'll be back.
Tech issues, man. I'm telling you. It's a curse. There he is.
There he is.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. What's
Look,
up,
there
man?
you looking all festive and all that. You know?
I got a Christmas sweater on.
Yeah.
Ain't that killer?
What's funny is it's like 70 degrees here today, so
Yeah, it's true.
it doesn't really feel much like Christmas. But
No, not at all.
No, it's been pretty horrible here lately.
But yeah, that was Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. Classic Christmas song, so we had to throw him some love there. Chris V is in the house.
That's loud as fuck. By the way I turn it on, I mean, I guess it should be, but damn.
Well, it's Lemmy.
Yeah.
Ice Ice Bowie, TJ Frizzy, Lipke Vision Films.
What up?
Sean Patrick says that Uncle Bill got kidnapped by the elves from Ernest Saves Christmas.
I can't wait to watch that damn movie again, though, seriously.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that here towards the end of the show. We got to mention it because I think that's going to be a fun time.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. Because it's been a while since I've seen Ernest Saves Christmas. So, but yeah, this is holiday horror, the best movies ever of all time.
Ooh. That's some big shoes to fill right there.
Yeah, we won't have as many movies as the last time, I don't think, because most of the holiday horror films are not very good.
I think we actually saw one of the best ones when we did the commentary of it. Like,
I think we're going to be seeing that one in this list tonight. No, you
yeah. I was kind of like amazed by that one.
Right.
Well,
and I
speaking
found
of
out,
that, I mean, we'll kind of talk about the news that dropped today. I actually messaged the guy from TerraVision Films and basically was like, "That's crazy, man! Like, we just did a stream about this last night," and he was giving a lot of props to the movie and saying he's always been a big fan. It's just kind of funny that all of a sudden, randomly, I'm seeing more and more people post about this movie recently. I know Danny at Cinestalker, if you guys know him, like he just posted the VHS tape, and I was like, wow, like, I haven't heard anybody talk about this movie in years, and all of a sudden I think it's getting a little steam behind it, which, in turn could hopefully maybe get us in a release one of these days.
well, TerraVision, they have a bundle, which I know Uncle Bill loves those bundles. So,
Yep.
the bundle includes the vinyl soundtrack of Elves, an Elves t-shirt.
That soundtrack should be just like one song on a loop for like the whole side. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I want to talk about, there's some interesting stuff about Elves that I did kind of find out. I tried to use my day at work wisely and find more and more shit I could about Elves. So we do have gay actor Michael Douglas in the house. I wanted to wish him a Merry Christmas and a ho ho ho. John Crescent. We need a poor actor, Tony Moran does have an account on here. He's on here every once in a while.
Yeah, he comes on and says hi, yeah.
Pop's Movie Dungeon. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
What up, Pop?
But tonight's show, like I said, best holiday horror films of all time. There's going to be at least one or two that's going to take some people by surprise. Some of the stuff that I was thinking, because I was just thinking of maybe not specifically even horror movies, but creepy Christmas that I always thought was kind of a little bit on the creepy side.
Okay, that's cool. That's different.
So it's going to be fun, and we want the chat to chime in as well. If you're watching this on the archive, leave us comments and all that, and give us some more feedback if we missed anything for sure.
Definitely. I want to see you guys chime in with some stuff that we might not be talking about in here. So, I get quite a bit of stuff over here. I know we talked about possibly just grabbing like 5 titles each, but we're going to talk about the same couple titles, I'm sure. So I brought a whole slew of stuff over. So
I don't know. I got real weird with it. I just like, because I kind of felt like that there's one or two ways you could go with this list. Like, you're either going to do the ones that, are obvious, like Black Christmas, which, I never get tired of talking about Black Christmas, but I just wanted to do, like, just bizarre shit because I love holiday horror films anyway. There's just something about them, especially the Christmas ones. But, and there's so many of them to choose from that I just picked some obscure kind of shit. So
good. I'm glad you did that because same deal, I guess, in a way. Like, I'm a real sucker for Christmas horror movies. There are a bunch that you'd see at Walmart that I passed up, and I kind of think back and I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind grabbing just a bunch of those like really cheap. But I grabbed a couple titles in here that I enjoy. They're not great movies, but I think a couple of them are either ones that people have not maybe seen or have looked over, and then other ones that people are going to be like, dude, that movie's terrible. But for whatever reason, I find enjoyable, similar to what we watched last night. So similar vein where it's like, to me, like, I love Elves, right? It's so ridiculous and stupid, but like, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I have more fun with that movie, I think, than a lot of these mainstream movies that we probably will talk about tonight. But so we'll get into that for sure. What's up, Holly?
I was thinking about, though, like, how Hallmark movie, the Hallmark Channel Lifetime and all that, has an endless amount of these fucking romance Christmas movies. Why can't they mix it up a little bit? Do some Hallmark Christmas horror movies and throw them on there. Have them on Saturday night, like Saturday Nightmares back in the day on USA. I think that'd be interesting.
that would. I don't know. I don't know why they don't do something like that. Probably because like 60-year-old women wouldn't watch it, and that's their like target demographic.
Where's the romance in this, honey?
Oh.
But, yeah, I'm excited, man.
So
Bombastic reviews in the house. Merry Christmas, boss.
What's up, man?
Howdy, sir. Who's going to start this this nightmare?
I guess I can start. I'll throw some out there. So again, coming into this, I picked kind of 5 from a list, 5 to 6, and then I just added a bunch of stuff over here because, like I said, I'm sure we're going to all talk about the same one. So this one you can actually watch now on Tubi. It does have a DVD. I don't believe it has any other physical copy except maybe a VHS. And it's one of the many sequels of Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I picked The Toy Maker as one of mine. So I have this like box set here. Look at the slip, dude. Slip.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the slips. But that was my first pick because I just like that movie a lot. Like, I mean, it's kind of just got everything I'm looking for. It's cheesy. It's very 80s-like. It involves toys and toy stores and stuff, and it takes place around Christmas. So I always have a ball with The Toy Maker. So I think out of all the sequels, I'm going to shoot for that one as my first pick, as one of my favorite horror Christmas movies to watch around this time of year. Does anybody have this on the list?
That's actually the first one that I had on the list.
The immortal Mickey Rooney. Joe Pedo of Pedo's Toy Store. Pedo's Toy Store.
Yeah, it is.
Would you take your kid there? I don't know.
Like,
Would
here's
and that's
no.
weird, right? Like, it's called that, Pedos.
And like the main character in the film is this creepy animatronic like boy that I don't want to give the movie away, but it's fucking, the ending of it's one of the most bizarre endings just ever. And I just love the fact that like it's got Mickey Rooney in it as like the gentle soul toy maker or whatever, and then it's got like this weird robot kid, juxtaposed between all that other stuff going on, and it's just
I guess we don't want to give a lot away. So the other night I was watching it again because I knew I wanted to put it on my list, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to chime in again, watch it just to make sure I want to add this to my list as far as, I really like it. So I was like in bed, like getting ready to fall asleep, and I had it on. I was just watching it. My wife comes in the room, and it was pretty much like that end scene there where with him and the girl or whatever, and she's like, "What the hell are you watching?"
Exactly.
She's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What? It just is on. I don't know what to tell you."
I watched it again, like, because Shudder has like 3, 4, and 5 on right now. And I watched it again like about a week ago, and I'm just like, God, this movie's even fucking crazier than I remember it being. Like, you forget certain things that happen in it. There's so much crazy stuff that happens, like, especially towards the end of the movie. Like, that whole last 30 minutes is just insane.
And man, it's gory. It's really...
Yeah, the effects are pretty good.
You know, the effects are really good. And, you know, the idea of toys, you know, coming to life, I'm always down for that stuff, you know. So I thought overall it was cool. So, Wes, what do you think of this one?
I mean, of the three, I guess it was Live Entertainment, or I can't remember the name of it was directly, you know, direct to video. Tom Arnold throwing out some cash tonight.
Woo!
Oh.
Thanks, Tom.
We'll talk about that here in just a second, Tom. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Of the three movies, it's by far the best one, but that's not really saying a whole lot, to be honest with you. The other two are... Part 4, I think, is the worst.
Yeah, I can't... Oh, man. Like,
But
tried to watch those...
If I'm not mistaken, there's HD versions of this out, right?
There is one on Tubi right now. I watched it the other night. I don't know if it's HD, but I mean the quality was good. I haven't watched this DVD in quite a while, so I don't recall if it's any different than what's on here.
Yeah, the DVD is kind of rough, if I'm not mistaken. But that would be another one that I would be up for somebody doing like a gimmicked up box set for it or something like that. I mean, even though like 2 or 3 and 4 are freaking like... 4 is like one of those movies where you can just watch it and instantly forget about what the hell's going on. Like, it's like...
Yeah, and they're a lot harder of a watch than the...
Yeah, they're hard to comprehend, that one is, in particular. I remember that one has like 0 to do with Christmas. Right? Part 4.
I tried to watch the fucking thing. I got maybe 20 minutes into it and was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you just get so bored that, like, you just zone out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Mickey Rooney has a wonderful performance in The Toy Maker as the Pedo's toy guy, Joe Pedo. They thought they were being clever.
He really did too. You know, they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's by far the best of that. You know, that trilogy of the direct-to-video ones.
I think so. I don't know. Like somebody said to rank them, I think that's a pretty good ranking. I'd probably go like 2, 1, 5, 3, 4 if I was going to rank them. Just because, like,
yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like 2 is basically you get all of one in it anyway, mostly. But then you get like Eric Freeman acting his heart out, so or his eyebrows out.
Isn't it bizarre that Mickey Rooney just passed away a couple years ago?
Yes, it is.
Jeez, he looked like he was like 80 years old in this movie.
Yep, he sure did.
So, all right. I guess
Who
I'll
wants
go next.
to go? Go.
I'll go. So this one, I doubt seriously anybody has this one on their list, but I don't really like full moon movies. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I know you're gonna pull out.
I don't like them, but there's something just so fucking stupid and great about this concept that I'm gonna put it on this list. The Ginger Dead Man. I'm gonna put the Ginger Dead Man on this list with Gary Busey as the Ginger Dead Man. Which, by the way, I'm assuming that they couldn't afford a whole lot of Busey because the Ginger Dead Man is like not in the first one that much. He's actually like more in the sequel than the first one. But does anybody remember the Ginger Dead Man?
I do.
Because I can tell you
all on Tubi right now. I have all of them, but I can't remember. To be honest, I don't even know if my sequels are open. But I remember the original one. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's bonkers for sure. But as far as the sequels, I know it's got like, what is it called?
Well, there's Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong. You can't forget about that one. And
what's the other one? Like Passion of the Crust or whatever.
Passion of the Crust is the sequel. Yeah.
So yeah, I have those, but I don't think I've even opened the sequels to tell you how those are. But the first one I do remember, but I don't remember it really, really well. Like I can't tell you all the things that happened, but
I think it's basically like, I watched it again not too long ago. Like basically it's Child's Play. Like Full Moon like does Child's Play, but instead of like, Charles Lee Ray being in a doll, it's like Gary Busey's character being in a fucking gingerbread man because he dies in like a fucking bakery essentially, and like that's the kind of the subplot of the film.
I refuse to ever watch that. I've never watched it.
You've never seen it? You've never seen it?
No.
What if?
Man.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
No.
Vinegar Syndrome's going to buy the rights to it like they did Jack Frost. They're going to release like a box set. It's going to be shaped of a gingerbread man.
I still wouldn't buy it. No.
It's as bad as you would think it would be, too, is the great thing. I don't know. I'm a sucker for movies like that. It's like, Troma never really made a Christmas film that I can think of, did they? Like, where it was exclusively based on some sort of gimmick like that. If they did...
No, but you know what though? I was looking through some stuff, and the Demonic Toys versus Puppet Master with Corey Feldman is a Full Moon movie, but maybe not. Maybe Anchor Bay put that one. I don't remember, but it does take place around Christmas because I think he's making the toys for Christmas or something. I forget, but I don't know if that's Full Moon or not. I forget if that one was Anchor Bay.
Real quick here though, before we get into the next one, Tom Arnold did a super chat. Not necessarily a horror movie, but Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut is the most creepy and bizarre Christmas film out there. Lots of hidden messages.
I love Eyes Wide Shut, and I was considering bringing it to the table, but again, I think for me, it was falling in that line, like, is this considered horror, or, So I didn't bring it, but yeah, that's a fantastic movie, man. I mean, it's super creepy. The score is great. Like when they're at that mansion or whatever, and all the chanting and stuff. It's super cool movie. What do you guys think about that one?
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I do remember it being extremely creepy though. But the first time I watched it, it was probably not long after it came out, and I just wanted to see Nicole Kidman's tits. Being honest.
Yep. Same thing though. Like I think I haven't seen that movie since it came out, around the time that it came out.
Yeah, I would recommend checking it out again.
I don't remember anything about it except for them wearing masks and the big orgy scene, and that's about it.
Did we get a super chat again? About 5 seconds, you give me $20. If you don't give me $20, I won't touch shit. Give me 20, fucker. Give me 20. Give me $20. Give me $20 or I won't touch shit. What's going on in here?
Ending always gets me.
I need to do the shorter version of that still, but
yes, you do.
One that popped into my head, and I've only seen this movie a couple of times. And it's one that nobody, I don't want to say nobody, but it's not really talked about very much at all. And I did think it was kind of a different take on evil Santa, right? So this is an ancient evil Santa that's frozen in Finland.
I know, yeah.
From 2010, the director, I shouldn't even try to pronounce this fucking guy's name.
Do it.
We're talking about Rare Exports. And this is the Finnish Blu-ray. Somebody has sent me the actual Finnish Blu-ray disc. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, man, that's a good one, dude, for sure.
Yeah, and I guess because, it's subtitled, and I've got another one that's subtitled in this, that may be keeping a lot of people from checking it out because a lot of, Garrett, I'm actually surprised you got it because you don't like subtitles either.
I was just going to say, I did watch this in 2010 when it came out. I saw yours. I don't know what version I have. I have this one. I don't know what the heck this one is. I don't remember if it's dubbed this version. I don't recall. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's a real cool movie. I remember when the trailer came out, I was like, wow, that looks like the coolest shit. And I know what other one you're going to bring out for the other subtitle one, and I tried to watch it the other day, and I thought to myself, man, I probably would like this if it was in English, because it had going on to the other title. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, because I know which one you're probably talking about, but I couldn't finish it. I was just like, I kept checking out because I was like doing other things, and yeah, that's the problem with the subtitles. I just don't. My attention span is not there. So rare exports, again, I've seen it years and years ago. I don't think I could get through it now unless like I'm tied to the freaking couch or whatever. But yeah, you're right. Like I really have a tough time just like staying focused. Like my brain is always like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and I'm kind of like half watching things a lot of the times, unless I'm laying in bed at night or I was at the dentist, and it's like probably the most relaxing thing I can do because my brain is always really doing 100 things at once. So, but yeah,
that's the thing about, a lot of the times we don't notice how much multitasking we're doing while we're watching movies, right? So when it comes to the subtitled movies, you kind of have to have 100% of your attention on the screen at all times. But there were a couple of these movies from around that time period that really impressed me. This was one of them. And then I'm not sure which country Troll Hunter was.
Oh shit.
But Troll Hunter is another very, very, very underrated movie. I wouldn't call it like a holiday horror movie necessarily. I mean, it's in snowy atmosphere. I don't know if it was was Norway?
Magnet the one that put those out? I think Magnet might have put Troll Hunter out.
Magnet put Troll Hunter out, yeah.
Yeah, we used to get Magnet stuff back in the day. I think that's how we found all this stuff.
Yeah, but that's another one, but that's not really a Christmas horror movie, but those two kind of go hand in hand, I think.
Yep.
I've actually never seen that movie, so I like...
Norwegian.
I mean, I've seen Troll Hunter, but I've never seen Rare Exports. I don't know why.
Well, I have two copies of it. If you want the other one, you can have it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at that. Perfect.
I'm making connections and networking tonight.
It's the giving season.
That's right.
Well, I'm looking at the chat in here, and I'm getting some good info because there's a bunch of stuff that I forgot was Christmas related. 1995
there was one that
we just watched that, and I don't remember it being a Christmas movie.
There was one that that somebody mentioned a couple of times. I don't know if it's on your list. It's from 2008, and it's a British movie. Have you guys got it on your list?
2008 British movie. No, I don't think so.
Called?
The Children.
Oh, dude, that's the next one I have right here.
Okay.
There you go.
Go ahead,
All
then.
right, yeah.
I didn't.
Listen, this was one that I thought that a lot of people weren't going to have known or seen because, again, in reality, I think it's pretty much a remake of the old Children movie, which was, I don't know if that was 70s or 80s or whatever, but Troma put out their version of it back in the day. Man, that's why I didn't think anybody was going to see this. But this is a freaking cool movie, and it's freaky, man, and it's gory, and it's just unnerving of a movie. So whoever mentioned that in the chat, thanks, because that was my next pick. It's The Children. And it was kind of one of those weird releases like Ghost House. Remember they were doing these little titles for a while?
Yep.
Right.
And they were all just kind of like, they were okay. But this one really stood out. And I remember when I got it, I pre-ordered it, I believe, back then. And my wife absolutely loved it as well. And she was super freaked out by it. So the fact that I found something that she really liked too says a lot. So
I've got that on DVD. I was actually looking for that earlier, but I could not find it. I've got it somewhere, I think. But yeah, I think that's one that got lost in the shuffle.
No doubt.
Because it came out with a big old batch of all those other Ghost House movies, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that was one that we did. I'm almost positive we reviewed that years and years ago, Uncle Bill. I don't know if you remember.
I remember it. I remember the cover of it and everything. And when we used to get those, is it called Ghost House? I didn't even remember that's what it was called. But yeah, we used to get a lot of those titles like that too. People are bringing up I've got some stories about some of the stuff people are bringing up. Somebody brought up The Oracle. like back in the heyday when we first started doing the show, like one of the first guys that I contacted, I don't know why, was this may have even been before the show, right around the time we started doing the show.
I think it was before the show, yeah.
Was the writer of the Oracle, and like ended up meeting him at a convention, and he talked for hours. He's just one of those people that like just could talk and talk and talk about that film and like how it was just getting ready to come out on DVD and all that stuff. And I always loved that film, and probably was one of the first people that got it on DVD because I think I got it at that convention or around that time anyway. And that guy stayed in touch. I'm trying to remember his name for at least a year or so after that. But then I don't know, kind of faded away. But yeah, that is kind of a weird. It's like a witchboardish kind of movie, but it is partially set around that time of year. So yeah.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen it.
I think the Blu-ray of it's finally coming out.
It is just now, actually.
Is it Code Red or one of those companies like that doing it?
Really?
Maybe
Yeah.
Scorpion or something.
I'll definitely check that out. I don't
The
think I own
DVD
that.
back in the day was Shriek Show, so that's kind of surprising that you never did get it, Garrett.
The Oracle. I'm trying to look it up right now because I'll know by the cover if I maybe do have it, and I'm not thinking about it.
Pops is saying that your sweater's just popping on his new
love
TV
that.
in the living room.
And somebody brought up Dead Snow too, which is not technically, but I like both those movies. Dead Snow and Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead, I think, which is like Nazi zombies versus Soviet Union zombies. That's basically what that movie is.
Robert Long mentioned The Fear. Is that the one from the 90s? Was that set around Christmas time?
That's what he was just saying. I don't think so.
I don't remember that.
recall. He usually knows his stuff though, so I mean, I would probably say
Maybe
yeah.
it was. Like the Children was set around Christmas. I mean, it was around the holiday, right? But it's not really. I mean, it's not like gimmicked up like a Christmas movie.
No,
really,
I don't think so. I don't remember. And that was another thing I was thinking when I was going into picking these lists today was, what was considered Christmas and what was just taking place in the winter, right? So that was another thing where I was trying to figure out, like, is this Christmas or is this just kind of take place in snow? Because, then when you take in things like even, Let the Right One In, like, that's not Christmas, right? But it takes place in snow. So
Right.
that's why I was getting a little bit confused on, like, what I was going to choose here. But I think Children do mention something about the holidays because I think that's why they might be all together. But I could be wrong. It's been a couple years since I've watched it.
So yeah, Stuntman Mark says American Psycho was around Christmas, so that's true. Like I don't know.
Man, he's right.
I don't know how you qualify these movies exactly. Like if it's anything set around Christmas, or does the film itself have to be themed like
Either
holiday?
It should be anything set.
Yeah.
So I actually think I
Fuck
dropped
it,
the
that's
ball
right.
on American Psycho. I think I dropped the ball and didn't bring out American Psycho because
you dropped the ball, man. I'm blaming you because that's one of your favorites.
It is a big favorite of mine, and I'm surprised I didn't think about it.
So who's next, players?
I just kind of threw out Children because that was my next pick anyway. So if someone else wants to jump on.
My next pick is the 2019 Black Christmas. I'm just fucking kidding. That movie's goddamn awful.
I've never seen it. I still have never seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I'm never going to watch it. Just like there's certain movies that if I see the cover of it and it looks like the cover of that movie or something similar, I'm never ever going to fucking watch it. That's one of them.
The
I
cover
actually
didn't do it any justice. I'll tell you that much. I mean, it didn't do it justice at all.
I actually watched that movie, and it's as bad as anything I've ever seen, I think. But anyway, so can we veer away from Christmas for a second? And I'll talk about like Thanksgiving here real quick. And somebody probably like has this movie. I know I've got it in there. I don't know why I didn't think to bring it in here. But it's one of my favorite holiday-ish kind of horror films, which is Blood Rage. For people that don't know, it's set on Thanksgiving, and I'm not sure like how to explain this movie without giving like everything about the movie away. But let's just say that it's about a guy and his brother. That's one way we can put it. It's about a guy and his brother, and one of them's
they're
really
twins.
Well, I didn't want to give that. Is that kind of like
Hey, if they haven't fucking seen the movie by now, that movie was made in like fucking 1986 or something.
There's so many good fucking quotes in that movie.
I love it.
Like, and the acting is so bad, but like great, especially the main guy. Like, I forget his name, the blonde guy, but like, oh my god, just randomly, like, you know that they wanted that to be a tagline because he says that fucking sentence like 4 or 5 different times throughout the movie. Just out of nowhere, he's like, "It's not cranberry sauce." It's like, yeah.
Well, there's some really, if I recall, there's some really good death scenes in that movie too.
Yeah, that's the other weird part about it. Like, even though it's incredibly low budget, like the majority of the death scenes are really, really good. Like the makeup effects are pretty good in the movie too.
That's who put that out? Arrow just put
Arrow,
that out.
yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah. So
Now,
that's
is that
one of the.
still available, or is that out of print? Do you know?
I think it's still available.
Okay.
If there's two different versions
I got it
of
a couple
it
of
too.
years ago.
There's like the basic version, which is like the one that I've got, and then there's like a slipcased version, which has got, like the hand holding the cranberry sauce.
I think I have that slipcase one. I see it. Right
Alex is saying, I begged you guys to watch Blood Rage on the old show, but it never happened.
Listen.
So did Blood Rage even have a DVD though? It probably wasn't that easy to.
I don't think
watch
it
at
did.
that
I think
point
the
in
first
time.
time I actually saw it was when it got released on Blu-ray. Like that was my first introduction to it. But I heard about it, but I didn't have it. So the fact that I didn't own it on DVD means that it probably didn't have a release, and if it did, it was way out of print because I pretty much bought everything back then.
I mean, yeah, I don't remember ever watching that film until recently, like about a year or so ago. But my God, man, like it's worth it. It's just one of those movies. It's kind of like, it fits in the so bad it's great category. Everything about it, the mother, the idea of the twins, the death scenes, like it's a great movie. In a bad way. I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah.
I've seen a couple people mention this movie, and it's on my list actually. Better Watch Out from 2017. Russell Rudder says, I hope the Dead Pit guys saw Better Watch Out. I actually just watched it last year, and it was kind of on a whim. I didn't hear too many people talk about it. I didn't know what the twist was towards I'd say the midway point in the movie is the twist.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's one of
Okay.
my favorites from the last little while.
I had it right here.
Okay, so I don't even own it. I was hoping one of you guys had it. I was very, very, very impressed with this movie. For one thing, like the acting in it, the girl and the boy, like that's mainstream movie acting, really. Usually in movies like this, especially the boy, which I've got Levi Miller's is the boy's name.
Yeah, that kid, man, was amazing.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but it's set up like a home invasion movie at first. That's what you think it's going to be. Typical, maybe some crazy ass dressed up as Santa Claus trying to break in and kill him or whatever, but it's totally not that. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, it was very, very well done, and it kind of came out of nowhere. And I don't know if you guys saw, there's another movie that came out around that same time called Babysitter, which was like, I think a Netflix only movie, and it was very similar to this, except it didn't take place on Christmas. So I can remember seeing them right around the same time and thought to myself, wow, these are pretty similar movies. But yeah, just the idea of it taking place on Christmas and stuff like that, like I think it just brought it, just a little bit above the other one too. So yeah, I agree.
Both those movies, like The Babysitter, the first time I watched that, I was like completely blown away by that one. Well, the kid in that one's great too. Mm-hmm. But the kid in Better Watch Out that's probably like one of the best unknown performances by like an actor that age that I've seen in a long, long time. Like he just completely steals that movie from everybody else. And you're right, it's a great, like the way it does like a 180 right in the middle of the film is amazing too. And
it's very Christmas horror too. Of course, it's called Better Watch Out, but it's not one of those movies like, and I'm not going to shit on Elves, I'm just giving it as an example, where Elves looks all festive and Christmassy on the cover, and it's really not. You can hardly see what the hell's going on. But this movie is colorful. You've got the the Christmas lights, the garland. It's very well lit.
It's a well-made movie. I don't think Elves was made with no offense, but I don't think the production was great on Elves.
We're going to be talking. I found some
Elves
more
is like a
shit out
Camel
about
cigarette
Elves, though, by the
commercial?
way. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later.
Somebody will have to convince me otherwise that somehow or another that movie wasn't sponsored by Camel cigarettes. There's no reason for that guy to walk around smoking that much just randomly and like carrying around cartons of cigarettes in his pocket unless that movie was funded by Camel cigarettes.
I'm with Greg Caldwell, though, getting back to Better Watch Out, because I wasn't expecting a lot, and I hadn't heard a whole lot of people even talking about the movie. But the cover looked kind of interesting, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be kind of maybe like The Strangers or something, but with Santa Claus or somebody trying to attack them. But yeah, it's a high recommendation, I think, from all of us to check that one out.
Right.
Yeah, Child's Play was set during the holidays too. That's another one that's like,
that was another one. I had it in my hand.
Good
and I was
observation there.
That wasn't Christmas, was it? Because I'm like, it was winter. She was buying him a gift. Was it a birthday gift? Was it a Christmas gift? Like,
oh fuck, you're right. It could.
Remember, right? Like, what was it? Was it for his birthday?
I think it was his birthday.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So that's.
I don't think it was a Christmas gift.
Well, but then I guess if you think about it, remember she worked at the mall and they were like all needed help. Was it because it was Christmas and the department stores were busy as hell? I didn't remember right away, and I was like, shit, you know what? I don't remember if this took.
Well, he could have had a birthday on like December 20th or 22nd or something like that.
Definitely.
So somebody said
the
it is for his birthday. Apparently, there's all kinds of comments coming in here.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
All right, I'll make this easy. Let's talk about Elves. I'll throw it in there right now. Boom. If anybody didn't see this, we did a commentary and watch along last night. Sorry, tomorrow. And so if you can't find this movie, which it is on YouTube, you can go to our video. And you can,
this fucking guy.
Yeah, we do a feature-length commentary on Elves, and you can watch it right along with us. It's pretty cool. It's high tech. I almost fucking wanted to kill somebody to get this damn video working right and everything. But we got it ready, and it's probably the only one we're ever going to do like that. So go and enjoy it.
Here's what I want you to do, buddy. Here's how you get it to look good in the OLED TV. You got to stick the VHS tape up your butt, and then start watching it. And then,
well,
take it out.
We can take a sidetrack right now, and we can, number one, Wes can talk to us about what he's found out about Elves.
Yes.
Kind of promote again the soundtrack and stuff coming out, and then we can take a little detour since this guy's talking about making the VHS look good in his new TV. The news about Vinegar Syndrome and Frankenstein and that whole thing.
Yeah, so we'll take a little bit of a break and talk about, first of all, we'll talk about the Vinegar Syndrome thing, too, because that's kind of interesting because we had a lot of people, you in particular, Garrett, like saying, well, you need to check your fucking settings, buddy. What in the hell is going on here?
So, yeah.
Check your TV set. It's something wrong on your end, dude.
Fucking idiot.
So, that's kind of where it all started, which, again, we still haven't got confirmation that that's an issue, which it just seems a little too coincidental that another new release is having the same issue that I called out. I posted a video talking about Summer of '84, which is a great movie that I love, and I bought the 4K, and when I put it in, I was like, man, the saturation on this looks real bad. Like, it's just like everybody looks like they're wearing self-tanner, and they look like all orange, and then when I put the Blu-ray in from the same set, it looked perfectly fine, so I was like, what the hell? So then I didn't think it was my TV, so I put screenshots in my video and stuff, and then posted it on the Vinegar Syndrome group site, which is always, my first mistake, I guess. But just asking, hey, does anybody else have this? Because I got it kind of early because I went to the archive and got it. But I'm like, let me know if yours looks bad. And some people came back, and a lot of people were basically. And this thing is not anybody had seen it. So basically, they're like, I saw your screenshots, check your TV settings. Dude, I know how to use the TV settings.
You don't know how to use your fucking TV, buddy.
Saturation up before I put the movie in. Every movie I have looks fine. It looks fine. And then someone's like, "Oh, if I were you, I would buy a disc that will tell you if your TV's calibrating at the top notch." And I'm thinking to myself, dude, come on now, like really, like that's where we're at right now. Like, tell me if it looks good or not on yours. And then some girls, like, you know, she was the only one that was like, oh, I have it, I'll put it in. And then of course, someone comments into her like, what are you waiting for, or something like that. Like, you know, what do you mean you'll put it in when you like you can't wait to put it in now or something? You know,
I
like
don't.
Some jackass comment. And then she actually came back and says, wow, mine looks saturated too. And then some people came in and said, hey, mine looks fine. Mine looks fine. I know what you're talking about. You guys don't know what you're talking about. So that's kind of where my story came in. And then today you tagged me on a post that they just released the Frankenstein movie that's having saturation issues similar to what I said about 84. So they're saying they're going to send replacement discs for Frankenstein. Now I'm asking, you know, is that going to be the same thing for 84 if more people, you know, complain about it? Like, I'm going to email them and say, hey, check out these screenshots. Has anybody else said anything? But
I think that's the
like
difference.
We're in the same issue.
Yeah, we'll see.
They said it has to do with like specific TVs, right, or something.
Right, and it's exactly the issue that you were having. The high contrast. It looked like everybody had sunburnt or whatever skin. So it'll be interesting to see, because you know, nowhere near the amount of people bought Summer of '84 compared to that Flesh for Frankenstein set.
Right.
And it's the same issue. I don't give a fuck what anybody says from Vinegar Syndrome. They can bullshit all they want to. You've got all those people on those forums that like to fucking smell Vinegar Syndrome's farts all day long.
Right.
And will defend them to death. But that's exactly the same issue. They're both 4K discs.
Right.
Yeah,
now,
we'll see if they fix it.
Yeah, but do you think because it's not such a hot release that they're going to just be like, no, it's fine, like, and not bother having to go through this process again?
Possibly.
You know what I mean? Like, they're going to probably blow it off because, again, it's not a title that I think enough people are going to say about it, you know? Like, so, you know, it was just interesting to me, and I'm just glad that this came out, because then it just makes me feel like I'm not crazy, which everybody made it seem like I messed with my TV before I took.
They were gaslighting you, Garrett.
And the thing
They're
is,
like,
dude, I've got a 70-inch 4K LG TV. It's 2 years old. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not
you don't know what you're doing. No, you need to buy you a disc and fucking check all your calibrations.
That's what they told me to do. I'm like, guys, I just need a simple yes or no. Like, that's it. Like,
I just love that idea that all these fucking guys like Vinegar Syndrome, these tech experts that are sitting around like, I got my calibration, my contrast set right. That's why I ain't doing it.
Listen, I mean, here's the thing. I love all people that collect this kind of stuff, because it's such a small niche market, and you know, I respect it, because again, it's a niche market, and people probably look at me and like I'm crazy when they see the shit I buy. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I would love to see all these people's collections and shit that, you know, are talking all this smack on these sites. Like a guy that I know posted a picture like, hey, I just got the new rack, Vinegar Syndrome rack that they sold out on or whatever. And then all he did was get shit on the whole time, which is like, yeah, would I pay $150 for that piece of wood? No, but I mean, I'm not going to shit on him for it. Like, it is what it is. But the whole comment section was basically like shitting on this guy for buying it. And then he wrote,
that's all they do.
Like, yeah, like he wrote underneath, like, I didn't know, you know, posting this was going to get such negative comments or something. I know next time, or whatever. You know, like, it's just one of those things. I would love to see all these other people's collections that are, you know, so much more superior than others when they, you know, rag on it.
I got to imagine that a lot of those people in that group drink Pabst Blue Ribbon and have a lot of fucking toboggans. Like, I just feel like that's the target audience.
I picture the denim vests, and they've got like pins and patches for death metal bands all over the vest, and they've heard of every fucking movie that Vinegar Syndrome ever come out with. A Wonderful Film. That one's a wonderful film.
I mean, that's another thing too, right? Like, that's another thing is that, you know, all of us three right now, we know for a fact, like, dude, we've been collecting for probably 20 years. You know, it's pretty sad to say I probably have like 4,000 DVDs over there. Most of them, 3/4 of them are horror. Like, you know, when things that I'm like, oh, I don't know that movie, and all these people are like, how can you not know it? Like, dude, it can't be that known. Like, trust me. Like, it can't.
We would have at least seen it on the shelf. That's the thing. Like, it would have.
No, like, there's a lot of stuff they put out that I've never seen. I don't recall seeing on the shelf, you know? And we just freaking watched Elves the other day, right? Like, so, you know, it's just funny, you know?
Speaking of Elves, though, we'll get back into the holiday horror goodies. So, I was talking to our good buddy Master Chaos TV. Here on YouTube.
Yeah.
He actually has a commentary on his page with the director of Elves.
Really?
That he did a live video. Yeah.
How long ago did he do this?
I don't know how long ago it was. He was telling me about it today. Because I was like, we would kind of like to talk to him. So all the information you may want to know is more than likely in that commentary.
Can he get you this guy's contact info to try to get him on?
Yeah. Yeah, he's close friends with him, evidently.
Woo!
Right. Yeah, that could definitely happen. Jeff Mandel, if you will. But so Vinegar Syndrome, they were trying their best to track the film down for years, actually. This may have been one of the early Vinegar Syndrome releases, but according to the director, and I don't know the details behind this, but the source material is no longer available.
What the hell?
What the fuck?
Which Hogan?
What the fuck?
Which Hogan?
Woodrow Purvis?
I'm sorry. That just caught me.
Heather Clem, was it?
That caught me off guard.
Master Chaos is a Vinegar Syndrome expert, but I got information from 3 or 4 different people today about this movie. So I did some investigative reporting.
I love it.
But the director, though, I was told that he was kind of surprised that anybody even knew about the movie. And that he's happy to talk about the movie. I do know that. So it's not one of those deals where he's kind of embarrassed by it, which, at this point, it is what it is.
Maybe we can get the director to get that kid now. He's going to be probably older now, right?
He's probably an old dude now. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But like I was saying, though, the original source material is gone. It cannot be found or it's been destroyed. So that's why it's not out. It would have been out already. But let's see here. What have I got here? The studio that was based in Colorado for Elves was funded, bankrolled by a car dealership in that area.
Wow.
And evidently, they did more movies than just Elves. The one sheet, which is the video one sheet of Elves, had a reverse cover of, what the hell was that? He told me what the movie was on here.
I know what it is. I've looked into buying it, and it's super expensive because it's double-sided with another movie. Man, I have it on my saved listings right now on eBay. I can't think of it though.
I had it on here. I swear to God. Let's see.
If I touch anything, my whole system's gonna shut down, so I better not try it.
No, but anyway, like it was double-sided. The other one was from the same company as well. I think it was like a Dawn the Dragon Wilson movie, if I'm not mistaken. It's some sort of action movie, so it's a different genre. So yeah, I mean, evidently the deal is the original material, and I don't know if there are 35 millimeter prints that are out there, because the word is that this movie received some sort of theatrical run. I don't know how. I would imagine it would not be a very big theatrical run, probably a couple of theaters maybe. So the odds of tracking down a 35 millimeter print are pretty slim too, I would imagine. This could be one of those movies that's just lost as far as having a a remastered version.
And it sucks too. Imagine being the director and just not and you putting out like a couple movies. You're like, I don't know where any of the info. Like that just sucks. You'd figure, good or bad, you'd hold some of your shit close to heart.
So I like this comment though. Elves is brought to you in part by Jack's Cracked Car Shack. Yeah, like I feel like that Elves was funded either by the mob or partially by like R.J. Reynolds cigarette company. Like there's something going on with that movie. It's just, it's great. like everything about it. But
While
like
we're talking about releases real quick here, Greg Caldwell, and we did talk about this before. I know what's happened with that as well. He's asking about the Thriller, they call her One Eye releases, which Synapse had announced, and then Vinegar Syndrome announced that they're doing as well. There's probably some sort of legality issue there. I don't know what that is, because you would think that they would not be able to do that. One company is saying they have the rights, another company says they have the rights. But basically, Vinegar Syndrome's release is a long ways from happening. It's going to be probably this time next year, maybe. And the Thriller Blu-ray from Synapse is coming out in March.
But how did they both get this? That's what I don't understand. Do they just not have, does Synapse have the rights till a certain point in time next year, and then Vinegar Syndrome's going to take them, or?
I swear to God, man, like I need to go back and watch that interview with Don May, but I thought there was something that he started talking about where something to do with the director, like, of that movie, that he had like started freaking out towards the end of the movie, and like something happened with that, with the rights or something like that. But I know that they didn't get along, and I just think that somehow or another Vinegar Syndrome got in there and like got that guy to do some sort of deal, because he was never happy with the Synapse deal, from what Don May Jr. was saying, and that's kind of where it's at now, I'm assuming. Like,
yeah, it does seem kind of weird that it was just both announced very close in time frame for a movie that nobody has seen, released in years. And also, too, remember the DVD? There was like a red one and a yellow one. I think one was uncut and one wasn't. Like, is that going to be any difference in their editions? Do you know? Like, is one only getting one version, or?
I want to make it clear to everyone that I am only buying the anal cream pie edition. I don't want another version of it. I don't want the cut version. If it doesn't have an anal cream pie in it, I am not watching it again, and I'm not buying it.
that's his policy. I'm going to say, though, that Vinegar Syndrome will 100% have that version. Like, they may also have, but that version will be in the. They may have both versions in the same package, but it'll be on there. There's no way.
Yeah. So, you want to get back into the holiday horror goodness? I can't even remember who's next.
I think it's Uncle Bill now, because I just did Elves and we kind of took a detour.
Go for it, Uncle Bill.
Well, there's only one other movie that I could think of that were centered around Thanksgiving. So I got on like a Thanksgiving kick for a second. And you know what that one is, because it's the only other one.
Why don't
I'm on my way.
Why? Where is that? What's the deal with that?
What? What's the deal with the...
Well, no, like where? Like it's gonna be Home Sweet Home, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just curious, like where? Because I only have I don't know what I have. I have like a German DVD or some out of country DVD or whatever. Does anybody know what's going on with that movie? Why is that not out?
I have no idea. We only ever watched like DVD-Rs of that movie.
Oh, okay.
There is, I think it was Diamond Entertainment. It's probably like how they did a lot of those companies' official bootlegs. Mm-hmm. They did have a U.S. release of it, but I think it was just it was a VHS rip.
Yeah, it's a title that everybody talks about all the time, and you figured that a company would have put that out by now, because at least it's known a lot by name for sure. So that's why I'm just interested to see that that's not around.
I mean, when is the last time anybody saw that movie? Like either one of you?
I mean, it's been years since
It's
I've
been a
watched
while.
I think we watched it at a convention, or like around the time we were at a convention.
That was the last time I watched it. I'm almost positive.
I don't even know what, like, the plot of that movie. I can't remember it all. I can just remember like the first part of the movie, like where he breaks out of, I don't know, he's like in a psychiatric institution or jail or something like that, he breaks out and like steals a car, shoots himself up with PCP, runs over an old woman, and then ends up at like this family's house that are getting ready to have Thanksgiving, where the guy is playing a guitar. Like one of the guys is like playing a guitar the whole time. That's like has an amp strapped onto his back, and he does like jokes and shit, and plays like guitar riffs over top of the jokes, and it's like a bad like fucking fever dream or something.
Don't they have like, as he's shooting the PCP up, doesn't he have a tattoo that says "Home Sweet Home" on his arm or something like that?
You know what? That does sound familiar, but yeah,
I think they zoom in. I think they zoom into his arm, and that's actually the opening title sequence.
That's fitting somehow or another of that movie too.
If you're a member of Patreon, DeadPitOnPatreon.com, we did do an interview with Dawn Edmonds, who was in this movie.
That's right.
And we asked him about it, and the director, I think her name was like Nettie Pena or something like that. And
Nettie, yeah.
Yeah, he remembered her, and I think he talks about that in the interview as well. So this is another one that I'm not positive on it, but it could be another issue like Elves, where, because you know these movies, if they had any sort of theatrical run, it was like very, very limited. So the chances of having anything to release are very, very thin there, because you would, number one is the camera negatives that they would want. So if they don't have that, 9 times out of 10, Vinegar Syndrome or Severin or Arrow or whoever, they go after 35 millimeter print to clean up. A movie like Home Sweet Home probably doesn't have many 35 millimeter prints. So I think that's another issue where we may never see that one either.
Right. It's interesting though, because some of the stuff they come out with, you're kind of like, man, like, how are these still available? Like, and a lot of these other ones are just MIA.
We were talking about Home Sweet Home, Axel Foley from 1980.
When you look at like movies like Elves and Home Sweet Home, like, I mean, they're not the best movies, but goddamn, they're like a lot better than probably half of the stuff that Severin and Vinegar Syndrome put out. So, like, you think that it has to be something with like the rights or like the actual negatives or something like that, because like those movies are cult classics in a way. Like, the people that have seen them and know about them know like that they're in the same categories like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
And the thing that really sucks, because we had Brad Henderson on the show from Vinegar Syndrome a few months ago, right? And we asked specifically, I don't know if did we ask about Elves? I can't even remember. But I know we asked about a couple of movies, right? So, and that some of those movies are like that. He ain't going to tell us yay or nay. Like, yeah, we can't find this stuff. So, I don't know who else to really go to. And I get the feeling, too, that Felcher's almost the same way at this point. Like, if he knows, he ain't fucking saying.
Well, I was listening to a podcast, Color in the Dark, and, they're put out by Fangoria or whatever, and they had one of the dudes from Vinegar Syndrome on recently, and he said quite a bit, to be honest, like, about what the issues are. And he says 9 times out of 10, music is really a big issue with why they can't get some stuff, is just who owns the rights. And if they don't know who owns the rights to certain songs, it's like they can't get it to put it out. And I was talking about Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey with somebody, and that's another one that hasn't seen a Blu-ray release, which is a pretty popular movie, kind of, but I think, and we were talking, and that theme song Can't Buy Me Love from the Beatles is the main track, and you look at it now and you wonder who owns that. And a lot of people in the chat were like, dude, Michael Jackson's estate probably owns that now. And I'm like, shit, you know what, if it does, like, good luck trying to get that access to those, that song, and you just wonder though, when it comes to certain music, if that's holding anything that we all know back. I'm sure not Elves, but I mean, I don't know, who knows.
I don't know how accurate this is. Roland666 is saying that Home Sweet Home was owned by the mob, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's interesting.
I can actually kind of believe that too. Like, there's a lot of movies that were financed by the mob back then. Like, they were trying to get into the film market. I think Bryanston and all that.
Right.
Now, I don't know much about transferring, and upgrading and all this stuff, but so you're saying, like, even if you only had access to the VHS tape, there's no way to improve that quality to put that out, even if it's not perfect. Like, there's no way, right?
I mean, I don't see what you could do aside from maybe trying to correct the color on it and brighten it up a little bit, but it's still going to look like a VHS tape.
Yeah.
I was told that Elves was shot in 16 millimeter as well. So I'm not sure what the 16 millimeter, I think, was Hills Have Eyes and some of the older movies like that. So that's kind of unusual for a movie in the late 80s to be shot 16 millimeter. Mm-hmm. It sounds like to me that with movies like that, those were just on such low budget. There wasn't a major studio involved in it at all. And, there may have been a fire. There may have been somebody got evicted from a storage building or whatever. And that shit was thrown in the trash. Or somebody may have it somewhere that grabbed it and is like, hey, we may see it. I mean, there's a slim chance. Sounds like, but it would be very slim from what I.
Well, okay. Here's another thing too. So the TerraVision's releasing Elves, the vinyl soundtrack. Now, would they have to get any kind of like okay to put that out from somebody? Like, do they need to contact somebody and be like, hey, is it okay that we do this? Like, just because, again, we're unraveling here a little bit, and it's kind of just interesting, like, that they would have to contact somebody to get the okay to release this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine whoever the composer was would still have the master tapes for that. Probably. That's how they have that one out. I mean, they're definitely not ripping the music from a VHS tape and putting it on vinyl. That would sound like fucking shit.
Oh God!
So the master, tape or whatever of that music is still out there.
What if they did though? That'd kind of be fitting for Elves if they ripped it off a fucking VHS tape.
Yeah. And speaking of TerraVision, when I saw that today, I was kind of like, I was excited because I'm like, oh hell yeah! But I was kind of bummed because honestly, like, again, we're going back to I'm not buying vinyl anymore, right? I say it all the time, and sure enough, I freaking chip away at it. And I need to sell my vinyl, not keep buying more. But I just caved and bought that Freddy's Nightmares yesterday. And I was kind of bummed because I'm like, oh shit, like I could have, if I would just waited a day, I could have saved on shipping now, But it says Elves is not coming out till April. You're not going to get shipped till April. So, I'm sure I'm going to get Freddy's Nightmares quick. But I've been holding off on it because, again, I don't collect vinyl. What's the point of me having Freddy's Nightmares on it? But I saw someone do an unboxing of it, and man, just the artwork on that with Freddy's face in the front is just such a cool image that I'm looking at that and being like, I'm just going to buy this and probably put this in a frame and like hang it somewhere because it's just a killer image. And to ever get that thing signed someday, which is highly unlikely because, I'm not going to go after Robert Englund's autograph for $120, but it's just a real cool image. I've never really like seen that image before, with that much detail. So that's kind of why I snagged it before it went out of print. So you guys didn't grab that, did you?
No.
Mm-hmm. No, I just recently got the fucking Phantom of the Mall thing because it went out of print like as quickly as it came in. Like that was the last kind of thing that I was able to get that.
You snagged the Blu-ray box or whatever?
Yeah, I got it on Hamilton Book because that's like one of the last places that had it before it actually went out of print on there too. Or they don't have it for sale
Hamilton
anymore.
Books are good. It's good to check that site out on a regular basis because they add.
I've never been on it in my life.
A lot of Severin stuff gets put on there like right after it comes out, and it's usually the prices on it's way better than anywhere else online.
Now, no one's gotten their Severin orders, right? My uncle texted me and said he hadn't seen that his Severin order was shipped, so he called Severin or emailed them and said, "Hey, what's going on? And they messaged him back and they said, "Oh, we don't see an order on here for for you when it comes to Last House on Dead End Street and
See,
and he goes, he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, there's no order under your name. And he's like, I bought it. He's like, the site was being screwy. I paid for it. And he was looking, he goes, I couldn't find a confirmation email either. He's like, so I don't know what the hell I did, but now it's like, it's out of stock on the site. So he's like pissed. And I'm like, listen, I'll try to find you it. You know, maybe if I go to the archive, they'll have one sitting there, but I don't know if they're going to restock those. I'm not sure what's going on. And if they do restock them, are they going to be without slips? I mean, I don't know, but, you know, I'm getting a little nervous too because I'm like, shit, yeah, like that site was wacky. I do have a confirmation email, so at least I have that. But have you guys seen any shipping on those yet? Because I haven't.
no. I mean, and that's the thing that worries me is because when I was checking out on that site, you know, that night, like everything was, I got a confirmation email and all that, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything like in terms of like the glitches and stuff that were on that site. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they came back and were like, you know, oh, shit didn't ship or you didn't place to get the order in or anything like that. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
So yeah, he's pissed. Because he was, and what made him just realize it was he was sent part of his order, which he thought was part of his order. He had gotten what's the one that you guys that was part of the folk, but they did it on their own? The Kentucky guy.
Oh,
Eyes of Fire.
yeah.
He got that, and he's telling me, he's like, you'll love this movie, he said. So I'm gonna actually have to go back and try to grab that because he said I would love it.
All right, guys, let's get back into the holiday horror thing. We're getting off on a tirade here. I'm going to more of a traditional route for holiday horror. This is one of the first ones that pops in anybody's head when they put Christmas and horror together, which, oddly enough, I don't keep this movie with my horror movies, though. It's more of a mainstream 80s kids movie to me. We're talking about Joe Dante, Gremlins, baby, on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I did not buy the 4K, which I heard the 4K is not very good.
I mean,
that was like that and another one was tied head to head for my number one. So it was down there. I mean, what can you say? To me, that's probably my number one. If you would say it's horror or not, but the thing about Gremlins, I think, is what to me takes the cake is that there's elements of horror in it, and it's a movie that I think you can show anybody, and regardless of what their taste in movies are, will really enjoy it. So that's why I think as a whole for me, that's probably my favorite overall holiday horror type movie.
Joe Dante, there's something about like his kind of sensibilities where he was a monster kid and, you know, part of that era of like Universal and Hammer and stuff like that, and really was into films around that period of time that just translated really well to that movie. Like the ability to make those monsters kind of goofy, but also kind of scary. Because that movie did kind of freak me out when I was a kid. I mean, you go back and watch it now, and it's not scary at all. But especially the scene with the woman in the little lift thing, and she goes flying up through the window and stuff, and the microwave scene and all that. So there's some creepy stuff.
This is a perfect storm, though, really. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you got Dick Miller, and he was in some of those old, 50s movies that Joe Dante grew up on. He's probably maybe my favorite character in the movie. I don't know. But the movie also has aspects of that 80s kids adventure type shit. And I was looking on the back of it. Steven Spielberg produced the fucking movie. Chris Columbus wrote the movie, right? So, yeah, it definitely has aspects of, that time period, too. Like, that was just perfect. Jerry Goldsmith did the music. I love the soundtrack to Gremlins. And then the creatures, too. I mean, just top notch. I mean, it's a shame that the 4K, like, if the 4K was remastered, like, I don't know what the story is with that, because that was one of the first 4Ks that they ever released, Warner Brothers, I think. They need to, like, do a better version of that. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I have the 4K here. I mean, I don't remember it looking terrible, but again, I didn't watch it, like, trying to think how good or bad it looked. why is it known to be not that great of a
Yeah, it doesn't get.
transfer?
I was going to buy it, but it doesn't really get good reviews or anything from what I've been told.
Yeah, I mean, this is another movie. Like, it's for what it is. It could be, to me, it's a masterpiece in a way, just for what it the type of movie it is. I mean, the creatures themselves just look fantastic. I know people have a hard time trying to put this. Does this belong in the horror genre? Like, it's in my horror movie section. On my DVDs. So to me, it does, because you look at that scene just with the mother and they're attacking her in the kitchen and she's stabbing them and stuff. Like, how much more creature feature horror can you get at that point, I think? And there was a whole thing where the trailers was very kid friendly, and the opening of the movie has Christmas music playing, and it seems very just family friendly movie. And then all of a sudden, like, shit just hits the fan, and kids were like scared shitless and parents were pissed because it wasn't really advertised that way originally.
I think the thing with me is like the whole movie is pretty tongue-in-cheek. I don't think anything is, even though the Gremlins are killing people, I guess, or whatever, but it's almost like they're not, I don't know, it's more of a comedy than horror to me.
I think it floats. Like, there was, like that scene where they're in the bar and they're all dressed up in different outfits. Like, yeah, that got a little bit like that. The Snow White scene was a little bit like that. I mean, you can't compare this to Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 just took it completely in a different direction. I don't even consider it the same tone at all. But, like that scene where the doctor got the syringe in the ass freaked me out as a kid. That was kind of a creepy scene to me as a kid. And, the pods and all that other stuff. And then you got Phoebe Cates telling you the story about her father and all that stuff. And it's a lot of it just doesn't feel like what kids should be listening to this,
Well, that's the thing about the 80s movies, is it was not, nowadays, a lot of the stuff that was in this movie would never be in what was this movie rated when it come out? PG. I think it was before PG-13. I wouldn't think you would see that sort of thing in a PG movie.
No, absolutely not.
Kind of reminds me of the Large Marge story in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Like, it comes out of nowhere and like just completely like changes the tone of the whole fucking movie. And the same thing with like Phoebe Cates and that whole story about her dad and all that. It's just like, but they spoofed that in Gremlins 2, which I thought was great too. Like, they spoof everything from Gremlins and Gremlins 2, but yeah,
Gremlins is brother.
Yeah, which I still remember marking out for that when I was a kid. Like, when that scene comes on.
I talked to us before, I buy a lot of like commission. I do a lot of commission poster art, and somebody was doing a limited run for a Gremlins 2 print that I signed on for, and it's funny because it's got like Gizmo, it's got the Gremlins, it's got this, and in the front center you got Hogan like posing, like it says Gremlins 2 on the bottom, and I'm like, yeah, I just thought that was so funny.
Funny stories. I remember watching Gremlins 2 in the theater when it first opened, and I was, what year was that? 1990 or something like that. I was like 10 years old.
Something, yeah.
89, I think.
I legit marked the fuck out when Hogan. He was like, "Hey, all you Gremlins, y'all need to sit down, brother." What the hell, dude?
It was just so random too, He kind of came out of nowhere, like, and he was in gimmick and everything, It's funny.
What's weird too, like, they never ever referenced that on TV, on WWF or anything. I don't remember them doing that. Do you?
No, not at all. So. Who's the dude in here that was watching the Hogan thing? Maybe he liked that part too. What is it? Awesome.
But yeah, that's Gremlins, of course. I'm not doing these in any sort of order, by the way. I'm just kind of throwing them out there.
Yeah, I can go. This is one that just recently came out in 4K. I'm gonna say it's good for a Christmas horror movie in the sense it's just like the most mainstream one, and it's by the dude who brought us Trick or Treat, and it's Krampus, the 4K. Now I'm gonna tell you, I just watched this, and I actually found myself liking it less than I remember when I saw it in the theater. Do I think it's a well-made movie? Yeah. But to me, it's like it was okay. Like it was well done, but I had more fun watching Elves last night than I did this. And not to bash on, I mean, it's well made. The story's okay, but for whatever reason, it just I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. Like I was just kind of like I don't think I care too much about the characters besides the mother and the daughter. Like I think all the other characters to me were just kind of like meh. Like I know you had that other dude from like The Office, and like I just don't find him that funny, to be honest with you. Like it was almost like he plays kind of like a half-assed, like what's the dude from Christmas Vacation there, the brother-in-law or whatever?
Eddie.
Yeah, like he kind of feels like that, but it wasn't really working. I felt like, but the movie looks great. It's good to have that type of a Christmas horror movie, kind of more mainstream. But I'm gonna say it's fine. But again, I'm not gonna say it's the best Christmas movie ever, Christmas horror movie ever.
I'm not sure what it is. Okay. What it is about that movie that I didn't like, but there was something. It might have been like all of the scenes where like the toys and stuff take over and all that was just too fucking like goofy, and they looked too like the visual effects looked too fake. I don't know what it was, but like something about it just took me out of the film. I like the general plot of it, and I kind of like the way that it was filmed. It kind of looks like The Mist or something, the way that it was filmed. Like a lot of the scenes are darker than they probably should be, but I mean, it's really, the cinematography is great. It's just something about like once it gets to the part where everything starts to come to life and they're fighting, everybody in the house and all that stuff. It's just way too hokey, like for me.
Did they ever say what exactly the naughty cut is?
It was just some extra footage, I think. And to be honest, I saw Krampus in the theater. I liked it a lot. I bought the Blu-ray. I don't even know if I watched it again. And then I just bought this 4K, and there was nothing in there that I could tell that was different. I mean, if there was, it totally passed me by. If anybody else knows, I heard it wasn't much difference, more dialogue than anything. I think it was just their way to kind of be able to put this out. I don't know, but it's well made. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Trick or Treat. I think it's to me it resembles like the style. It's stylistic as well as like Trick or Treat, but it's not as fun of a movie in my opinion as Trick or Treat is. But yeah, I think it definitely needs to be on the list just because it's just a really well made.
Michael Dougherty, he knows how to make movies for sure, but like it's fucking bullshit that movie got a 4K before Trick or Treat. Yeah. That movie got a theatrical release. Trick or Treat didn't. I don't know.
You're right. I'm sure next year it'll be coming out. And I don't want to keep going off on rants, but what's the deal? Again, I complain about this all the time. Back to the old slipcovers, Scream Factory. So
they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't care that it's in the slipcover. Here's the thing. I don't give a shit that they're in the slipcover. My problem is that when they release the Halloweens and they're in those like slip boxes, cool. If they would have said, "Hey, we're gonna do all the Halloweens in these special edition cases," okay, fine. Like they're all their own thing. Then you release the Elvira movie in the same case that Halloweens came in, and you're kind of like, "Oh, are they gonna be doing this kind of case going forward?" No, just randomly Elvira got it too, and it just kind of annoys me because as a OCD collector, it's like, where does Elvira go on the shelf now? Because it doesn't fit. It doesn't move fluent with all the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I was under the impression.
Like, what was the randomness of that?
I was under the impression that all the releases were going to be that from now on. By the way, they were, all those came together, but they must have got a special deal on those type of cases for so many or something. And it was like, let's go back.
But it's just very weird because on the shelf it just doesn't make sense that you have like one random title. Like Halloween, I can pass because it's part of a set, but whatever. I just thought it was kind of a rant that I've been talking about with people.
I don't think I agree with that. I don't think they really know what they're doing. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to like what they do.
Well, no, and the thing is, we talk about Vinegar Syndrome and give them shit, but the Scream Factory, I don't know what else to call them. Fanboys, what else can you call them? Fucking marks? Yeah. Like they're like an army. Scream Factory can do no wrong. They don't care that there's.
Oh, you're saying like the hardcore fans?
Yes. online.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. It's crazy though because like with Scream Factory though, it's like it's really hard to you can you know I respect what they do. They do a lot of cool shit for the genre, but at the same time, like there's a lot of errors that they make a lot, and to really be able to defend them as hardcore fans, I mean, at what point though can you be like, yeah, maybe they should have took a little more time with this and not try to rush it out for whatever reason, like. There was a lot of movies I feel like they're just like, oh, we got to get it out because like, we got to beat someone to the punch or whatever, and then they end up having to like replace discs and all this other junk. But
yeah, they're pretty much the worst.
So who's next, baby? Who's next?
Uncle Bill.
I mean, there's going to be ones like this that I think we'll all have, but to me, the greatest like Christmas horror film has got to be Black Christmas. It's just like the best combination of both of those things. And I think everybody probably has seen Black Christmas. Everybody knows what Black Christmas is, probably. But I don't know if that movie even, like you were saying too last week, if that movie gets enough credit. Still to this day, I don't know if it gets enough credit because not only is it like shot extremely well, not only is the camera work in that movie amazing, but the performances in that movie are great too. Like everybody's performance in that movie is really, really good. It's just to me, it's like the prototype for every modern slasher film that came out after that. And I know, like we talked to Bob Clark, and I remember specifically asking him. And he was like, talking about John Carpenter, he was really pissed at John Carpenter. I do remember that. Because he firmly believed, and I believe this too, that he took a lot of the scenes from Black Christmas. And we asked Carpenter about that, and he's like, no.
He said he'd never seen it.
Never seen it, don't know that. There's no way, man. There's no fucking way.
Well, you got this was the first movie that did the point of view of the killer, right? And he was looking from outside of the sorority house early on in the movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Quit that!
That's so killer.
The thing, too, that's about, like... So, I want to warn people if you have not seen Black Christmas. It's not one of those... I mean, there's nothing that graphic, really, in it. But some of the shit that the fucking prank caller Billy says is just like, what the? This was 1974.
Yep.
And he was talking about their pretty pink, I don't want to get flagged. Fuck it. Pretty pink pussy.
Thank God. Yeah. So, yeah, there's that.
Yes, I mean, it's just like uncomfortable. Like, it was so realistic with this crazy ass calling into this house, and, goes from there. The opening kill, the first kill in the movie.
No!
Oh, no!
What the
no!
Happened?
He turned into an asterisk.
He turned into a snowflake.
Can you guys hear me?
That's
still?
festive.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold up.
He's taking this holiday thing too far. Fucking turned into a snowflake.
We'll talk about Black Christmas some more, baby.
But yeah, like, okay, so the first like hour of the film is amazing in terms
That's
of
how we'll fix it.
Yeah, do that.
in terms of like it's the point of view shots from that movie are exactly like the ones you see in Halloween. And I think they're actually done like with a little bit more kind of flair and stuff. But the scene that I always remember, and I think everybody always remembers, is the girl, with the plastic bag, and then that visual of just her up in the attic, in the rocking chair with the bag and everything. It's just like one of the creepiest fucking things in any horror film. And that mixed with the phone calls, it just there's a real sense of like unease through that whole movie. Like you don't feel safe watching it. And I think that's the best part of some of these, like the best horror films like Texas Chainsaw and some of those, like you don't feel safe. You feel like the director is going to like take you in a place you don't want to be during the film, and that's the case with that movie for sure. And yes, it is a Home Alone Christmas sweater.
Yeah. Hey guys, take me out of the just out of the screen, just because my phone's dead. That's what the problem was. So I'm gonna try to get it back on.
Sure. All right, here we go. Oh, we're doing it old school. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it in Black Christmas too, very similar to Halloween. I mean, they kind of use you don't really see a whole lot. It's a slow build as well. And the Christmas music, I think that really adds a whole lot to it, like a Christmas carols and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like throughout it.
Well, it's played pretty well as like a drama if you think about it. Like if it wasn't for him running around making all those phone calls and being in the site, like the film would just be kind of like a Christmas, like a drama set around Christmas, which actually like plays out pretty well in of itself. But then you just add that other part of the equation into it, and I got to say, Bob Clark was a master at making genre style films. I mean, he made Porky's, which is like the quintessential kind of comedy of that era, and he made A Christmas Story, which is like one of the greatest holiday films ever. But I don't think he ever gets enough credit for like making like one of the prototype horror films. Like he's not in the same conversation as like Carpenter or Craven or those people ever.
And this is another aspect of it. You never find out who this guy was really.
Yeah.
Are you back?
No, not yet.
Are you sleepy? Oh, okay. But yeah, Black Christmas, man, I mean, it's hard to top that as far as that is holiday horror personified.
It is. But I still think that the greatest plot of any of these movies is Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I know for a fact that movie does not get enough credit for the plot, because the plot of that movie is almost like the Manchurian Candidate. So this kid sees this horrific thing, and then you fast forward 15 years later or something like that, and he's working at a department store, and the manager is like, I want you to play Santa Claus. And he says, and this is kind of what triggers it, he says to him, you know what Santa does this time of year. And that guy, I guess he's an adult now, just kind of starts staring off into space. He's like, yeah, I know what he does. Fucking, that's the greatest idea. Just the simplest but greatest idea, though, for any kind of fucking film where, he kind of doesn't realize that that's not what Santa is about. He thinks that Santa's about murdering all these people.
Right.
And that's the whole setup of the movie.
Yeah, so he has a normal existence up to that point.
Yeah, and then
he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Right. That's the greatest part about the movie, is that he doesn't even think that he's a criminal or anything. He thinks that that's what he's supposed to be doing. He's just kind of following. Yeah.
Real quick though, I did want to really put over this box set that 101 Films did last year for Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2 on Blu-ray disc, and they gave DEADPIT Radio some love on the back. That's one thing that Scream Factory did not do.
No, I think they hate us. I remember Michael Felster being something where he was just and they told us to no, there wasn't no way that they were including that on there.
Well, I mean, Scream Factory included it, but they did not give us any credit on it at all, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So it's the interview that we did with Chuck Selye is on the Scream Factory Blu-ray as well. But they gave us some love and mentioned DEADPIT Radio on the back of this, the 101 version.
Oh, I know what it was. It was the thing that we did for Friday. That's what it was. Friday the 13th 5, where they were like, no, we're not putting that on the the Scream Factory place left.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all fucking hillbillies.
So, yeah, Garrett, we talked about. I'm not hearing Garrett now.
Now you might.
Let me tell you something. Hello. No, I can't hear you. We're still having some technical difficulties here. Let's go through some questions here real quick. How about that?
Let's do that.
So I starred
Come
a
on.
bunch of these. Jake Courthouse, this is a while back. He mentioned that Calvaire is a Christmas horror film, another French extremity Christmas horror film, much like Inside. He also mentioned that Inside was a Christmas film for the whole family. I don't even remember that one being set around Christmas time. Do you?
No. There's so much crazy shit that happens in that movie, though. Like, I don't think I'd remember anything about where it was set. It's like, Jesus. Why aren't those movies more popular, by the way? Like Inside and Martyrs.
Yeah, I'm surprised Inside hasn't had a Blu-ray yet.
Like, those movies should be up there with, like, some of the best horror films of all time. People never reference them anymore.
This is one that I thought about rewatching because I didn't really like it too much when it came out. And that's the original remake for Black Christmas in 2006.
I mean, I thought that movie was kind of shitty until I watched the 2019 one. And then I thought the 2006 one was a fucking masterpiece. Like,
Right.
I'd love to rewatch that now.
Chris V mentioned To All a Good Night. Is it really interesting? I didn't think so.
No, I watched that again like about a week or two ago. It's just not a good film. Like, I tried. I really, really wanted to like that movie. And
Now,
David,
that's one that did get released on Blu-ray, though.
did it actually get released?
Yeah. So that's one that they did find. They did track it down as old media, direct-to-video, no budget, which I've got it on DVD, the DVD version of that. The Blu-ray's out of print, but it'd be interesting to see how much they clean that movie up because you couldn't really see it, the regular transfer on it.
All right, am I back?
Oh, there you go.
Back, better than ever. You got a knack for making things better.
Because your
We did-
opinion don't matter.
Get a $1.99 super chat about an hour ago from
Oh no,
Hey
not
Dude.
that. Oh
Yeah,
no.
get ready for it.
Nah,
I was just thinking about Danny from Hey Dude. Sorry, that's why I said oh no.
the early Blu-rays did not look as good as the ones that are out now for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's true.
Now, did you guys kind of get through your main list there? Because I did hear you guys talk about Black Christmas, which was my number one mixed with Gremlins and that, and then Silent Night, Deadly Night was my other one. So those are my big five.
Well, I've got kind of... Sarah first mentioned this one to me.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, that's interesting because was I born, in this time frame or around this time frame when this movie come out? And if I was, I would probably think that this movie is kind of creepy. And you guys are probably going to laugh about this. And I'm interested in seeing what the chat thinks about this. Because I really do. I like this movie a whole lot. But if you think about it, the whole vibe of this movie is kind of fucking creepy.
Sure.
Did you think we'd be talking about a Robert Zemeckis movie on the
No.
show?
No.
And I'm talking about The Polar Express.
What the fuck?
I've never seen it. I've never seen that. That's the one with Tom Hanks with that weird, that's got that
Yes.
weird animation, right?
It's weird.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
I've
very
never-
odd.
I swear to God, I halfway expected you to pull out Beowulf. I was like, what the fuck is this going to be?
Beowulf, that one's not set around Christmas, Uncle Bill.
Yeah.
It's similar animation, but if you've never seen it, Garrett, your son would probably love it, actually. It's an awesome... It's a classic, for sure. But just the vibe of the movie is... I think it's kind of creepy. I mean, it's definitely not a horror movie, But the animation is odd, especially now. I mean, back when it came out, this movie was what, 2007, 2006, 2007, something like that. It was like state of the art animation, and it still looks good enough.
Right.
But it does have that creep factor to it. So I'm definitely, yeah. Chris V kind of agrees with it. He says it does have an uneasy, and it's not just the animation. It's kind of the plot of the movie too.
There is something about that movie. We watch it like almost every year, and
wow.
I think it is like the animation and the way that the animation is done that makes it like just really a really bizarre feeling kind of movie too. And that was the early days. Like he was doing some sort of a new camera, that same shit he did with Beowulf and all that stuff too. Speaking of that movie, that's just really odd, and I don't think many films ever really did that. And he kind of pioneered that, whatever that effect is.
Yeah, this is a Blu-ray 3D version, and hopefully I'm going to check this out again in 3D shortly. So yeah, Garrett, I would highly recommend you get that for sure.
Yeah, I always see it, and I always pass on it. But yeah, I would definitely check that out. And kind of in the same vein as like I think Christmas Carol they did with the same kind of animation. I think. I haven't picked that one up either, so yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Let me ask you this. So, is Nightmare Before Christmas a fucking Christmas movie, or is it a Halloween movie?
I would probably consider it Christmas, in my opinion. I think it's a cool movie for sure, but I would probably say Christmas because a lot of songs I think, well. Like I always think of what's this? Like I think that's very Christmas like. I think that's a really cool track. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Another one though that you were talking about Tim Burton, and I was like, why the fuck did I not think of this? Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Set around Christmas.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yep. And that's definitely that's not really horror, but it does have some creepy shit in it for sure. Vincent Price is in it, so I guess we could count that.
We were just watching this. This was like 2 or 3 days ago, like because the kids love that movie, and that's definitely 100% like a Christmas film. Like the majority of it doesn't take place on Christmas, but the main parts that people actually like towards the end that people really remember do kind of take place around that time. And there's something about that movie, which by the way might have been one of his last really great movies that I can think of. That, yeah, it's definitely somehow or another a Christmas film.
I think that one's kind of one of my favorites, maybe my favorite. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a really high up there too for Tim Burton movies.
Burton, I'm a big Burton fan. I mean, well, I'm gonna say Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm a big fan of. I don't remember if I'm missing anything, but like
Ed Wood,
the newer ones.
you gotta go Ed Wood.
Oh yeah, Ed Wood. Yeah, that's right.
But like, yeah, he gets kind of fuking silly.
Batman Returns.
Tim Burton.
I like that one too.
That's Christmas. Definitely. Yeah. So I'm just thinking if there's anything else in here that I may. Did you guys talk about Santa's sleigh?
No.
Goldberg. Which is another one I'm surprised doesn't have another release. Like, this was put out by Lionsgate, man. So, I don't even know, is Lionsgate, like, doing shit anymore? What's their deal now? But they're what? They're MVD, right? Or they're Vestron, right?
Yeah, Lionsgate, I mean, that Santa's sleigh would fit for Vestron, I think, if they wanted to do it. I'm sure, Lionsgate does not license their shit out, so it would have to be them that, that released it.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've gotten some people have been chatting with me saying that Vestron is going to have a pretty killer year this year. So keep your ears and eyes open for that.
Well, I want to ask Sleepy. He'll tell us, sure.
Yeah, he'll tell us all the fucking news.
Well, if he's involved with it, there's going to be some pretty high-tier releases from them, which will be very interesting.
Sleepy won't tell us shit anymore. Fuck him.
No.
Because I think what's happening now is Lionsgate's actually going back and being like, oh, shit, we own all this stuff. And, like, they've kind of been, horror for them is kind of getting on the back burner a little bit. And I think they realized that, that they're all over, the place. So that they have a lot of good stuff.
Another one that I wanted to mention on here, and I think can't remember if I reviewed this, but I know I'd talked about it before, and Garrett was kind of touching on it a little bit earlier. And this is one that Vinegar Syndrome came out with last year. I watched this on Christmas Day last year, and it's subtitled. It's from France. But man, I fucking love this movie. I mean, Garrett, I don't know if you would have to take some sort of like nerve medicine just to calm yourself down.
Some CBD or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is.
This is Deadly Game, Dial Code Santa Claus, Pierre Noel. It's known by about, 3615 Code Père Noel. It's got like 4 or 5 different names. This movie, a lot of people say that Home Alone ripped it off. And the basic plot, kind of. Uncle Bill, did you ever watch this?
I was sitting here thinking, like, that's really sad. I've had that movie for, I don't even know how long, like 6 months, and I've never watched it.
So just to give you an idea, I mean, this kid he comes from a very rich family, lives in a mansion. His mother, I think, owns a shopping mall and hires this really creepy looking motherfucker to play Santa Claus at the mall, right? So what happens is, within the first 15 minutes, as he's greeting these kids and playing Santa Claus and they're sitting up on his lap, I think he is groping like a kid or something like that. Like he's a child molester, right? Wasn't that the deal?
I'm trying to remember. I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies. Is this the one where the kid pulled his beard off, and he got pissed, and he hit the kid or something?
Maybe that's what it was.
What the fuck?
I thought he got in trouble for groping a kid, but that'll work too. But he's very he loves little kids. I do remember that. He's fascinated by children.
This has got to be Steve's favorite movie then.
Yeah, Steve loves this movie.
It's
running wild in this movie.
Yeah.
I won't say what, but you can guess. So he gets fired. The lady that, the boy's mom fires him, and he finds out, I can't remember how this happens, but where that woman lives and that she has a little boy, and he basically decides to go there and kill that fucking kid to get back at the woman.
God.
And this kid, you can see him by the front cover here. He's a big Rambo fan.
Yeah.
Literally, we talk about the actual Rambo fan. But this was in the late 80s. And from there, booby traps and everything, similar to kind of like Home Alone, to try to protect his grandpa and himself and all that. So a lot of action in it as well. Not really straight horror. But man, I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I've only seen it that one time. But this would be one that Vinegar Syndrome did do this one in 4K too, by the way, which is hilarious. But this is one that was not a big success for them, actually. It took them almost an entire year to sell out of the slipcovers.
Which I'm surprised, because this was always a movie that I'd heard about and could never obtain it. So I'm surprised it didn't sell as much as they thought they would. And I don't know if it has to do with the subtitles there, but I don't see that that's really has affected much. So Lepke asked in here, you can't listen to dub on this. It's only subtitles. But it's funny because there was one part, they're playing music throughout the movie and it's all in English. So I was
it's Bonnie Tyler, actually. It's
weird. I was like, what the hell? Why is it all the music? Why is all the music in English? But then it goes right into...
That is weird. But yeah, Bonnie Tyler, who did the Total Eclipse from the Heart or whatever, she's got an original song for this movie here, which is hilarious. But that's cool. Another one I recommend for sure. I mean, the dude that plays Santa Claus in it is he does a great job. He's a legit creepy looking fucking guy.
Yeah, he really is. Uncle Bill, do you have anything on your list? Any kind of hidden gems or any kind of I'm
gonna be very upset if neither one of you guys pick this movie up.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
The only other one that I can think of that hasn't been mentioned is Christmas Evil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just because that movie is not. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, that movie's more like Maniac set on Christmas than it is anything else. Like, it's like a character study, a horror film about this guy breaking down and kind of just losing his mind, and then just, going to the ultimate extreme, dressing up like Santa Claus and going out there and killing a bunch of people. But there's so much in it that's so surreal, especially the ending, that I'm not even sure, what the director's intention was with this movie. But like, there's several scenes from the movie that I can remember just being like batshit insane that don't have anything to do with anything else going on in the plot of the movie. Maybe it's like him losing his mind. I mean, maybe that was like the ultimate, like, finally just completely losing it. But there's several scenes where you're like, what is going on? But it's a great movie. And Scrooge, I was going to bring up Scrooge.
Bill
actually.
Murray saved the day. He's the star Scrooge. He's in here.
Scrooge is a great
one.
What's
going on, Bill? We appreciate that. The old zombie dude is creepy as fucking Scrooge, by the way. I mean, he plays it like, comedic relief kind of, but the makeup job and everything. I think Rick Baker did that, if I'm not mistaken.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bringing up, kind of piggybacking on Christmas Evil, because I always got these two mixed up, Christmas Evil and this next one I'm going to show. But I don't think this one has Blu-ray release, and that's Don't Open Till Christmas. I always got those two kind of mixed up. I wasn't sure which one was the one about people killing Santa Clauses instead of Santa Claus killing others. And I always thought it was Christmas Evil for the longest time until I got the Blu-ray from Vinegar and rewatched it again. I was like, no, this isn't the right one. So it's that one. It's Don't Open Till Christmas. That's a pretty good one if anybody hasn't seen it. I'm not sure if it's available on streaming, but it's hard to get the DVD.
Steve's a big fan of that one.
Now.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a public domain movie, I think. I've got that in like a couple of different sets. So I don't know. It may be one of those deals where I don't think it ever had an official like studio release or anything like that. So I don't know what the deal is. We don't have a Blu-ray for it. The DVD looks kind of rough.
Yeah,
I think from what I remember.
Yep, it does look rough. But Rob Zilla brings up Tales from the Crypt all through the house. I mean, I'm going to say both the movie one and the show, like, both great. Two really cool Christmas-inspired horror type thing. I love them.
The TV show, though, I just can't help but see Dr. Giggles. That's my problem.
Larry Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that one was awesome. It's still kind of... it's like just an updated version of the 70s one with a little bit more gore and stuff in it.
You get the feeling that the 70s one should be longer than what it was. So it's very brief. Maybe that helps it more than anything because it is kind of a...
I never noticed it before, but whoever said that's right, like the world's roughest neck massage, it's not even...
I think that was Phantasmat back in the day.
That's so great.
And what was I going to say? Herschel from Walking Dead. He looks like Santa. It looks like the Santa Claus in that looks like him.
Also, we gotta bring up one of the classic horror holiday Christmas films, which is August Underground's Mortem, where they got that scene around Christmas.
I've stayed away from August Underground my whole collecting.
Dude, I still can't believe that shit exists. And that was actually
I had a friend that was he was obsessed with all that stuff. That was
his
favorite style
like that,
stuff. Yeah. And his favorite movie at the time was Murder Set Pieces. Remember that one that everybody was going nuts for a while?
Your friend. Here's the thing though.
You need to talk to him, hug him, do something.
The idea behind that, and I don't know if you remember, we talked to Fred Vogel about these movies years and years ago on the show. So the original idea of August Underground, the first movie, is because it's basically like a snuff film. It's what a snuff film would be. So the idea was it wasn't not he didn't promote it as a movie. He was just going to have copies of the tape and leave them around New York City, right? That was the idea of getting the word out about the movie and kind of creating a little bit of a buzz, and maybe the police will get involved or whatever. But this was around the same time that 9/11 happened.
Oh God!
So that ended that, right?
Yeah.
So I think had he done it that way and it was just one movie and not a trilogy, like that movie would be more highly thought of. I mean, even though it's not my type of thing anyway. Oh no.
Son of a
Well,
bitch.
asterisk out again.
Oh fuck!
God,
I like that.
not
That
good.
comment is actually true. Those anything can
shit.
have a fan base. That's true.
What is it now?
This comment says the Fred Vogel movies are proof that anything can have a fan base. That's 100% true. Like those movies, there's nobody should really like that. Should not be your favorite style of movies, but it is for a lot of people for some reason. We didn't mention that. We didn't mention Jack Frost.
We did
actually,
not talk about Jack Frost, no.
which is
I can just audio for now because it's my phone. It's my own fault. I was rushing and I didn't charge it.
Oh!
Real professional, guys.
Innocence is no excuse, as I always
Boy.
say. No, you're good.
get your shit together, Garrett.
It'll work for the
gosh.
podcast version. So,
My own fault.
but yeah, I mean, we're almost at 2 hours anyway. So, but yeah, Jack Frost. What do you guys have any thoughts on that one?
I mean, it's cool. I guess it is what it is. I have the Vinegar Syndrome. I am probably not going to buy Jack Frost 2, no matter how much I'm gonna have FOMO to try to get it. I can't, dude. It's not worth an upgrade for me. I have the DVD. It's fine. I don't need the Blu-ray of it. But that's just me. If I didn't own it, I would buy it. But I got the DVD. It's fine.
I believe that movie is going to be like $25 or something. That MVD release, like I can't imagine.
Wait until it comes on like sale or something. It'll go on sale.
I can't imagine fucking like buying that for $25 and just Jack Frost 2. Like Jack Frost is as close to a trauma of it's just decent goofy. Like I would never put it high up on a list of any like holiday horror films or anything like that, but it's in the same vein as like the Ginger Dead Man and stuff like that. Like it's the same
for sure.
type of movie.
Phantasmatho honestly thinks that Jack Frost is a great movie.
Well,
It's got a great scene. I'll say that.
You like
I
the
think
shower scene,
it's
right?
fun enough. Same reason I find Elves fun. Same reason I find Toy Maker fun. I mean, I can put Jack Frost in the mix where it's like, it's cool, but I'm not going to go out and say it's great. Like it's competing with the Gremlins, but for what it is, it's good enough.
So Rob Zilla brings up Bloodbeat though, which is one that I did not realize that was a Christmas set film. I've got that. I've got that from Vinegar Syndrome. I've never watched it yet, but yeah, like Red Letter Media did a review of it, and we're talking about it being around Christmas. So I'm definitely going to watch that one soon.
Here's another one that I had. I think this is the only other one that we haven't talked about on here. Double check. Yeah. The Dorm That Dripped Blood. This is a slasher movie that's set around the Christmas holiday.
That's that's a great
It's
film.
not, I wouldn't call it a great movie. I mean, it's kind of like a slightly above average slasher movie. It's got a young Daphne Zuniga in it, and that makes it worth watching. But yeah, this movie was also known as, it's Canadian. It was known as Pranks in the U.S. for years and years and years. And Synapse did this one, right? So I'll show you the artwork here, right? But they have a reverse cover, Uncle Bill, and I did not remember this.
Pranks.
And if you know it is Pranks, by God, you can have the Blu-ray of Pranks.
Well, there.
So that's pretty neat.
Like, I think I really liked that movie more than I thought I would because we had a shitty DVD-R of it until, like, Synapse released that Blu-ray. And when I saw the Synapse version, I was like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. Like, it's like a completely different film that I've never seen before, and I just marked out for it.
This was one of the early ones that I think they remastered from a 35 millimeter print. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's how they restored this one. I'll have to double check with Don May. It doesn't say on here, but this came out 10 years ago. Can you believe that? The
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. So
people are bringing up all kinds of stuff on here.
Yeah.
To All the Good Night, we kind of referenced that one earlier.
Yeah, I have that one right here as well, but it's been a long time since I've watched it. I know I bought this just because I know David Hess had something to do with it. So that's why I bought it. I think he wrote it maybe or something.
He directed it.
He directed it. Yeah.
Okay. So I do have that one on my right here on my list, but obviously you can't see it. So yeah, I mean, it's been a real long time since I've seen it, so I can't really give you my opinion on it. I forget. But I do have a cool indie movie over here that I actually really enjoyed, and it takes place around Christmas, I think. I could be wrong. I think it does. It's called The Sleeper. I don't know if anybody's heard of that. It was kind of an indie. It had like a little bit of a hype behind it, like probably about 10 years ago. And I always thought it was a pretty well done indie movie. And I'm not really a big low budget indie fan, so I thought it was pretty good though.
I haven't seen it. I remember hearing about that, but I have not seen it. Here's one that I picked up recently that I'm excited to check out, and I may watch it and talk about it by this time next year. It's 13 Sleighs Till Christmas.
I've never heard of that.
Him and that fucking Scream Fest shit or whatever that's called.
Scream Team.
Scream Team. Yeah.
Anybody seen this one? 13 Sleighs Till Christmas, baby. So, guys, I believe that's about all as far as movies that I have. Any of you guys have anything else?
I've got a ton more over here. I can rattle them off. But, hey, I can probably jump back on because I do want to show something before my phone dies out again if I can get this to work.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. Let's see.
Come on. Get on here.
The anticipation is just too much.
Hold up.
Show us what you got.
Oh, shit.
I wanted to mention, while Garrett's getting this figured out, that we are multicasting on DEADPIT YouTube and Born to Be Rad on YouTube, which is Garrett's channel. If you're subbed on one channel, not the other, sub on both. Do us all a favor and thumb it up and all that good stuff. And subscribe, because we all have separate shit as well. We do a lot of streams and stuff together, but Garrett's got all kinds of interesting stuff. He did one recently at an old amusement park that I thought was really good. I think your brother and your sister-in-law joined you on that one, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Am I on or not?
Yeah.
No.
Fuck. All right, no worries. Yeah, so that was a real special one for me, and my brother's he's an editing master, so he edited that one up. I've actually got 2 videos with them lined up this month, so you'll see those kind of pop out soon. We're gonna do kind of like a secret Santa type thing, and then trying to think what else we're gonna do. Some kind of like nostalgia kick. But the one I was gonna show is, I can just start rattling off stuff, but I have this movie called A Christmas Horror Story, which is basically on the cover is Santa versus Krampus. They're like fighting. It almost looks like something you see on the Sci-Fi Channel, but it's actually really good. If anybody has seen it, it's pretty enjoyable. It's got like what's his name there? Captain Kirk in it. What's his name there?
William Shatner?
Shatner's in it. But what's funny and what I wanted to kind of show is that I had bought the Blu-ray, and it's called The Christmas Horror Story, and when this came out, Walmart released it as a holiday horror story. It's the exact same cover, except they changed Christmas to holiday. So I have both versions here, and the holiday horror story I have sealed, because I always just kind of thought, hey, maybe this will be worth something someday. So I kept it. But how weird is that? It's exactly the same cover, except instead of Christmas, just says holiday.
Christmas offends some people.
Yeah,
that's
it's just
true.
really weird that like that it is like that, But I'll throw in a couple. There's another movie called I Trapped the Devil, which Scream Factory put out. It was like an IFC film. It takes place on Christmas. It's pretty cool. I have Silent Night, which is like the Silent Night Deadly Night remake, which
that one is pretty good.
It's okay. It's pretty good, you know. I also grabbed Curtains, which I wasn't sure if that was considered a Christmas movie or was just taking place in snow. I don't remember.
It's the winter. I don't think it has any Christmas. It may. I don't know.
I wasn't sure. Another indie one that was okay. It was kind of comedic. It was called the Cadaver Christmas. I don't know. I have it right here. It was kind of almost like very comedic like, but it was pretty good. I have a movie called Lake Alice, which I don't remember much about at all. It was a horror holiday movie. And I have P2, which is a good movie, but you would never know it because the cover doesn't tell you anything good about the movie. It looks really generic.
Yeah, we reviewed that one back in the day. That's not too bad, actually. I think the title of who come up with the fucking name for that? P2.
It's stupid because it's
like,
basically just telling you what the name of the title is the garage letter and that she was parked at. Like it's dumb.
No,
and I think
you could have come up with anything. That's like one of the worst titles I can think of for a movie, and it's not a bad movie. It's just I think because it was like a theatrical film, if I'm not mistaken.
Was.
Like, it came
we
out.
saw it in the theater. Yeah,
and I think
nobody's going to see that.
Take this one out.
Why you do?
Yeah.
Where's P1 at? I didn't see P.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it. I have Black Christmas, Black Xmas. I have that 2009, and another movie that took place around Christmas, which was a decent movie that came out a couple of years ago called ATM, and it's about
Ass to mouth.
This slasher where these people are stuck in an ATM booth and they were on their way to the Christmas party. I don't know if you guys saw it. What do you say?
It's a different. I've seen that, but in multi volumes. It's not just part one. There's 87 of them of ATM on online.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. The Lodge takes place during Christmas. Yeah, I like The Lodge. I don't remember it being around Christmas. Maybe it was, but that's a good movie for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that hate that fucking movie. I think that's mostly like the newer like horror fans that can't stand to watch anything that's not like got 1,000 jump cut edits.
That's a great movie, man. Elvis's granddaughter stars in that.
In which one?
The Lodge. That's Elvis Presley's granddaughter. Yes, Lisa Marie's daughter.
Wow.
Huh. The Good Son. That does take place around that, doesn't it?
Does it? I love that movie.
We could be here all goddamn night talking about this shit.
That's true. Because now we're just talking about movies that really aren't like holiday films, but are like centered around like, sometime in the winter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh, I see what Rob Zilla said. Yeah, that definitely went over my head. For sure.
Yeah, Rob Zilla knows what we're talking about tonight, boys. ATM, that's what it means to me.
That went over my head. I was too busy trying to get my video camera to work over here, so.
Christian Hannah Horror. He's up and at it. And we're up and at it again. But we're about to end this stream, Christian. Where the fuck you been the whole damn night, buddy? We've talked about movies. We've talked about holiday horror movies.
Been on here 2 hours. My phone died. Yeah.
This would be a hell of a movie right here, though.
It would.
Party Massacre.
You got to wear that this week.
Yeah.
So if you want to plug that really quick.
I'm going to tell you something, though.
Yeah.
Silent Night, Bloody Night's people been putting that up all night. That's just not a good fucking film by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sorry.
No.
I can't include that on any list of anything like enjoyable.
Yeah. The only thing that movie's good for is making you fall asleep.
Well.
Now, but Saturday night, which means what, Uncle Bill?
Saturday Night Miss. Or it could mean like, Saturday night at the movies. Who cares what picture we see?
Saturday night, we're gonna watch Ernest Saves Christmas.
Do, 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 do.
Saturday night. So,
you have no idea how much I'm looking forward to just seeing that movie again. I love that movie, but I don't remember anything about it now because it's probably been 20 years, like over 20 years now since I've seen that. But that was like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. So I've got to imagine that's going to be a fucking nostalgia like overdose.
well, interesting thing is though, okay, we're all going to be here. It's myself, Born to Be Rad. Well, he's not really there. Uncle Bill.
What the fuck?
Right? So we're all going to be on there, but we're not coming alone. Our good friend, we have figured this out. Rambo, we know him as Rambo Fan, but now on YouTube he's known as Rambo Wrath for Life. He's sort of a big deal. He's got like 20,000 subscribers, and this movie is one of his favorites. He's a big fan of Ernest P. Worrell like us. This was requested by one of our patrons over on DEADPIT on Patreon.com. So we're going all out. It's Saturday Nightmares, Ernest Saves Christmas, live, baby. What do you guys want to do? You want to do 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock?
No, let's go. I'm down with 10.
10 o'clock.
You keep showing that.
Good deal.
It's so fucked up.
I'm like the John Cena over here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It's been a long time since I've seen this. I got to check this movie out in theaters as a kid. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the last Ernest movie that was in theaters, at least on a nationwide.
As well.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, at least on a nationwide run.
I think that like somebody mentioned this, but I do think all those movies should be in a box set, or at least like the first 3, and they should be like
until Scared Stupid, no question.
Yeah, they should be remastered and everything. Like, I don't know what the fuck the deal is. It has to be rights or something.
So what is there? 4? It's the 4 big ones. Is that what it is? It's like
let's see. There's
Camp, Christmas, Jail, and Stupid.
Stupid. Yeah. So yeah, those movies.
Ernest Scared Stupid may have come out in a few theaters, but I don't think it was a nation like this was Touchstone. I think.
Yeah.
That brought this one out, I believe.
Now, when's the last time you guys have seen that? By the way, has it been a while, or have you seen it recently?
20 years.
It's been
at least.
It's been a very long time since I've seen it.
Probably over 20 years. Come think of it.
I found this thing in Goodwill a few months ago, and my eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning. I was excited. But that's what we got planned, though. Like I said, Saturday Nightmares, we're going to be on at 10 p.m. this Saturday, the 17th? No, the 18th. Saturday the 18th is your unlucky day. Or lucky day.
You know what? I think you guys are going to really realize how good that movie really is, because I loved it as a kid, but I watched it probably like a few months ago, and it's the first time I've probably seen it, in about 20 years, and I was like, man, this is like it's just so different than anything. Like Ernest was like kind of a genius. Like when you're just to think about like some of the stuff he used to do, like I'm just like, wow, like I didn't realize how different this was back in the day.
Well,
that you see now.
Funny thing about that, I remember a quote from Robin Williams, which everybody knows who the hell Robin Williams was. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's like one of the funniest guys that ever lived. He said that Jim Varney was the funniest man that he'd ever met, ever.
What the fuck?
So I think they worked together in some sort of comedy club or something like that. So yeah, I remember seeing that quote and I was like, well, that's interesting because, I mean, Jim Varney was a pretty big success as an actor for sure, but he wasn't a Robin Williams.
No.
Right. No, I'm excited for it. Just to kind of go back and see it again, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Saturday Nightmares with the all of us and Rambo Wrath for Life. Matt, Rambo Fan, is on the DEADPIT board. Going to be joining us. We got the technical glitches out of the way. It's going to be like old times, Uncle Bill.
I know. I've got to say, though, Garrett needs to show up like this Like this needs to be the way that we do it.
Just
That'd
my
be so
logo,
killer.
just like a
What do you
Yeah.
think about that, Garrett?
And we just like keep going, like zooming into him.
What is that? Is that like me or is that like an eyeball? I can't tell what the hell that is.
That's so fucking cute.
Well, it's kind of vibrating when you talk, so
Yeah, I
you get
can
some
see it
kind of
going.
movement out of there. We can do it like this too. Go back and forth.
I don't like that.
This shit's so high tech, man. It's like we actually know what in the hell we're doing.
Even though we
Hey,
really don't.
let me just go in here really quick.
Uh-oh.
Because I know Holly really well. So Holly, you're not talking to yourself. I can see what you're saying, but you're behind because you keep talking about stuff we've talked about like 5 minutes ago. So I think you're behind on the stream somehow. So that's the deal here.
Holly had to pause it to go take care of some other business, doing
Yeah.
something.
So I think she's like 5 minutes back. That's why she keeps writing stuff and like it's already passed.
Also, I'm not sure we have scheduled the date, but we are doing a fan commentary for Black Christmas at some point next week. Hopefully before Christmas.
I'm going to do my research on that one. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I actually watched that movie again earlier this week at work, oddly enough, but I want to maybe watch it again on Blu-ray because get the feel of it. Or I might just wait and watch it with you guys again.
I can't take this shit in these comments. I live a mile away from Barry Manilow. Not that anyone cares, just wanted to mention.
That's sort of a big deal. Barry Manilow, man. I mean,
he writes the songs.
if you're close enough with Barry Manilow, what you could do is just buy all the Barry Manilow records you find at Goodwill and see if he'll sign all of them, and you could sell them on eBay. Somebody'd buy them at that point. He signed them. I don't know what it is. Whenever you go to Goodwill, there's like Olivia Newton-John records, Barry Manilow, Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass, and an endless amount of Christmas and Christian records from the 70s.
That's true.
But anyway, I appreciate everybody coming out. We hope to see you guys on Saturday. Born, the number 2, B.E. Rad.
You can't see me.
His time is now.
Time is now.
All right, I promise, gang. Next this Saturday, no more glitches. Everything will be charged and ready to go.
Hey, don't make promises that you can't keep.
Yeah, y'all don't listen to the Garrett Howell 3000.
I'm like that thing in like the Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, whipped cream and other delights. That was like the Herb Albert, the Tijuana Brass record. But I've seen them all, you know. Anyway, we will catch you guys next time over on
.com.
Give a thumbs up,
Up your butt.
like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.